Biology Review number 21 and 22. 21 says, a tick feeding on the blood of a dog is an example of. Well, let me show you real quick. Since I look at my answer choices and I see commensalism, parasitism, and mutualism, those are the three types of symbiotic relationships that we're going to be looking at on the tax test. There is no such thing as neutralism, so I'm going to cross it off. Remember, on the tax test there are 4 answer choices, but only 3 types of symbiotic relationship, so we have to have a 4th choice. Well, we're just going to cross this little guy off because he doesn't exist in this world of symbiotic relationships. So now I'm going to look at these others. Let me give you a real quick overview. Anytime you have a relationship between 2 different types of organisms, at least one of them will benefit. And the reason why you know one of them is going to benefit is because there wouldn't be a relationship if we didn't have at least one of those organisms benefiting from it. So in all types of symbiosis, or symbiosis, depending on how you say it, some people say it different ways, we're going to have one organism that benefits. So I'm going to put smiley faces here. And these represent the organism that's happy. So in mutualism, the feeling is mutual. If you've ever heard that said before, the feeling is mutual, it means we both feel the same way. So both organisms are happy about this relationship. They both benefit. With parasitism, if you've ever heard of a parasite, hopefully you've heard of it as a very, very bad thing. Well, it is a bad thing. Parasites are harmful. So we're going to have our happy organism, the parasite, because it gets something it needs, but the other organism will not be happy about that relationship. It's being harmed. Our last type is going to be commensalism. Well, we've had happy, we've had happy sad, and now we have happy don't care. You're not helping me, you're not hurting me, this does not affect me at all, so I don't really care that you're benefiting from me because it's not making any difference in my world. So we're going to look again at our example and then figure out which of these fits. A tick feeding on the blood of a dog is an example of. Well, I'm going to look at my 2 organisms, the tick and the dog. Well, in this case, the tick is getting food, right? It's feeding on blood. So the tick is happy it has food. The dog, though, is probably not very happy that it's losing blood. It's hurt. It's going to itch. It's going to have a swelling of some sort, and it's having to make more blood for what's being taken away. So if you look at that, you can tell that our relationship is parasitic. We have a happy tick and a not so happy dog. So that is an example of parasitism. So based on what we just did there, let's look at number 22 and see what type of relationship that is. So in my box there it says epiphytes, example, some orchids. So even if I don't know what that word is, it tells me here some orchids. Orchids are flowers. If I don't know what that is, I just go, okay, these things live on trees so they can receive more sunlight. So they're getting sunlight. That seems like a good thing. Epiphytes have aerial roots that absorb water and minerals from rainwater. Epiphytes do not affect the trees on which they live. Do not affect. So these epiphytes receive more sunlight. Well, that seems happy to me. And then they do not affect the trees. So the trees don't care because they're not being affected at all. And what type of relationship is that? It's right here. That is our commensalistic relationship. One is benefiting, one is not affected, so that is H.